Oh, I forgot this is part two. Gemini, Moon in Gemini in the second house. It's part two. I forgot to talk about expression. I'm gonna keep it short. It's just it's the emotions and the thinking. It's expressed really. It's diverse here. It's diverse here, and it's about usually it's about something they have. It's about self-esteem again. It's about you know um, what we need to survive. These people express themselves in that area. This is an actual. Um, the moon itself is actually a survival need. It's in the second house. So you hear these people almost in their voice. You'll hear them. It'll sound like it's like it's almost like life and death if they don't say what they have, what they're feeling. They put emotion into it, and this is I mean they put their thought. They really put it all into it, and they're quite smart. They're good with putting their words, putting their feelings into words. It's like one of the best places for people to do that, and through the throat, the spoken word. It's your speech patterns. It's the second house. So expression, you'll hear somebody, even if you like way in the other room, and somebody with this placement is talking, you're like, man, they sound like my mother, or they sound like somebody's mother, or somebody who cares, somebody who just a caring person, a nourishing person. They put that in here. So in their voice tones, they'll have that high pitch. I can't even do it. They'll have the high pitch like that. Yeah. So it just it'll sound like someone who cares, who just or someone who's emotional about something. They'll put a lot of emotion into it, man. That's what crazy how this happened. Like that. What they're feeling, they put it out. It comes out right here in the second house of the throat, the neck. Um, that's just a little bit on the expression. House to house, we're talking about what the moon is doing in the second house. I said a couple things earlier. Uh, Communication is a survival need. If people can, with displacement, if they cannot, or feel like they haven't communicated their feelings, whatever it is, then their not only do the peace of mind lacks or suffers, but how they feel about themselves suffers. It's just not. They don't feel as good about themselves because they didn't get that message across. The other person just didn't get it, or they just weren't able to communicate it to them the way they felt it, or the way they would like it to be received. So it's like, man, it bothers them. It bothers people, and if it, I feel like I'm, you know, not up to par as I don't feel as good about myself. I don't feel like I'm up to it, like I'm worth it, because I wasn't able to, I didn't connect with people. I didn't get when I got my, or a caring person that'll come to you with their emotions or whatever they're trying to communicate is going to be in the emotional sense. Emotions is going to decorate it. That's going to be the thing. I feel like my girl ain't doing this, and that. And you're the person that's listening. They're coming to you, and they got their feelings out, and uh, it wasn't. Maybe you, as the person that's listening, somehow you're not able to like relate to it or connect to what they're saying in some way, and everything it takes work. And the third house is one of the Upachaya houses. Upachaya houses 3, 6, 10, and 11. They get better with time, so don't worry about it. It gets better and better, and your communication style gets better and better. So generally speaking, you keep working towards this. It gets better over time. Just you keep at it. Um, but like for someone in the beginning, for someone who like you, they come to you, and for some reason, whatever the reason, if you feel, either they feel or you feel, either one, like they like you just, I don't know, you just can't be there for them. Just can't be that caring ear. That's a Cancer third house. Cancer is care. They do wherever Cancer is, they want to do it in a caring way. Third house is not just talking; it's listening. So if you're not a careful listener, if you're not a sensitive listener, sensitivity, and you're listening, and like a nourishing, a nurturing person that can, if you feel like you're not this person, then the peace of mind, not the peace of mind, but you don't feel as good about yourself. It's a real sensitive placement. The thinking is just off, but more than anything, like the mind's the you don't feel worth it. You don't feel worth it because I couldn't be there for that person. So now you feel more down about yourself because you couldn't. Uh, you feel like, or they feel like you couldn't be that person. Y'all just didn't have that connection when he came to you with that, or something like that. Uh, um, so yeah, that's one example. Um, the second house is also it's your finance. It's like a nest egg. Second house is like a nest egg. You accumulated something that you have that is sustainable, whether it's like a savings account, like you put money in a shoebox, or the piggy banks or something like that. Um, some resources that you and yours can refer to in order for you guys to survive. Feel like oh, okay, I'm good on this physical plane, on this earth, in this material world. We are materially secure. Boom, we straight. We want for nothing. We got what we need. You know what I mean? So that's the second house. Everything that's third house are those things. You need communication in order to build a bank account. You need to be a good listener. I would say more than a good speaker. I really do believe that, especially for this placement with a Cancer placement. Cancer is receptive. Coming to me, it receives. It's a receptive. So you definitely want to get good at listening. Really listening, not you know just wanting to say something back. That's how most of us, like, when we listening to somebody, we're not really listening. We just waiting to where we can come in and say our shit, say our 2 cents, or interrupt or something. I mean, fully without even wanting to say nothing. Learn to um, just be a good listener, a caring listener. That ear that people can like feel like they can talk to you about anything, uh, especially emotionally, that they have to talk about. because that is going to have to do with your own survival somehow, some way. Your mind, your thinking, your emotions, from being that good listener, from that experience is going to be trans, uh, transferred into your savings account. It's going to affect it. If you're good at it, you'll be good. You'll feel physically secure. You know, if it's suffering, then something, or you just want, even if you still got the same amount of money, for example, in your bank account, but from that, if you weren't able to be that person, if you feel like you're not that person, then it's going to affect your, just like, man, I got to get better with listening. Or it's going, it's going, I don't know. It's just going to affect you're going to feel like, almost like it's a threat to your survival. So get good at listening, being just a caring, sensitive, receptive listener for people. And your efforts and your courage, third house. Cancer rules the third. Cancer rules the third house, coming into the second house in Gemini. So Cancer, third house is your efforts and communication. Your efforts is something that you rely on. It's going to reflect how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem with your own self. Example, it could be at work. It could be when you have your child and y'all at the park. Man, did I really spend time with my child? Was I really, engage with them, and do we really connect, and all of these things like that? That's a survival need. You need that. So that's what I mean by efforts. And I'm putting in effort to spend time with my child. I didn't spend enough time with my child. Did I spend enough time with my child? Did I not? Blah, 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 blah. And from this, it's going to be like, okay, no, I didn't spend, so I don't feel, I didn't spend enough time with them. I feel bad about myself. Like I don't feel as worth it. I don't feel as good about myself as before we went to the park, because I feel bad. I didn't spend enough time. So that's kind of things that's going on with the house-to-house placement. Your efforts affecting how you feel about your self-esteem, your own self-worth. Courage could become a talent. Third house, courage. Second house is your talents. You could be so courageous. Some people with this, that some people will pay. People will pay for it. That's basically what I think a talent is. Something that you naturally know how to do, that people will pay for. Your courageous acts, people would pay you for your courageous acts. Like, for example, like you saw someone who was homeless or something like that, or some, disabled lady who was struggling with some bags or something like that, and I don't know, she's in some like real dangerous area or street or something like that. Um, you know, some people will pass people by like that, so people won't even go over there. I ain't going over there. It's crazy over there. Courage here, man. When people witness this person's courage, they will definitely be like, man, I wish that was my bodyguard. I wish that was my bodyguard. You could be like ambulance. People who do, firefighters, courageous acts. I'm watching Lone Star, 911 Lone Star. Oh, those are all second house things. It's like a firefighter show on Hulu. But yeah, courageous mind right here, and that's big to you because that affects how you feel about you. So if it was something that took courage for you to do and you really wanted to do it or say it or write it or whatever like that, and you just didn't, you just couldn't. I ain't shit. Well, if you don't say I ain't shit, you're not gonna feel as good about yourself versus someone who went to go and talk to that girl that they wanted to talk to. Even if it didn't work out, you feel good about yourself. They're gonna feel much better about themselves than the person that didn't. So that you see what I mean? The courage affects. The courage courage affects self-esteem. They are directly a cause and effect. I gotta be courageous. That's the cause. Do something courageous. Or no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't work up the courage to go and talk to her. That's the cause. The effect is I don't feel as good about myself. I feel a little worse. Yourself, your not self image is how you feel about yourself. Your self esteem suffers. So you see what I mean? Courage affects the self esteem. Then to peace of mind. Peace of mind. If these people are able to, again, if they're able to be good listeners, find the right people in your neighborhood, in your family, wherever. Find some good avenues, some positive avenues to communicatively express your emotions. The peace of mind will be there. It'll be attained. People like, okay, I got an avenue. I got it out. I feel good about myself. Boom. But it'll suffer if you don't have those things. If third house things, if you feel like you don't have an avenue, or you feel like when you write, when you talk to people in your life, or wherever, your friends, some of your friends, whoever, like they just don't get you, like they just not that ear that I was talking about. But you gotta be the ear first, here, before you can, really expect it. You get what you give out, put out. But yeah, if these people, if they feel like they don't have anyone or some way, or like this thing that they put this effort into today or whenever, if they feel like they had the courage to go and do that thing, and they went and did it and said it, and whatever the case may be, that affects the peace of mind. All the can'ts I just said, if you can't do it, or if you can't somehow accomplish third house things, is what I'm saying, then that's when peace of mind suffers. If you can get efficient at doing third house things in Cancer, but really third house things, peace of mind will be attained. You'll have it. You'll feel fine. You'll feel centered. You'll feel, the equilibrium that we all, including myself, need. So, it's a little bit on peace of mind. We'll do part 2 in a second.